Mission Impossible podcast, episode 10 for real this time. This episode is brought to you by Ray and Flay's Terrible Furniture.
Oh no.
Oh. So if you want a chair that you can't sit in, a table that just breaks when you put stuff on it, what else is furniture? Chest or dresser that sets your clothes on fire, it's Ray and Flay's Terrible Furniture.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty good. Or a bed set that stabs you when you sleep or something. I don't know.
Is it cheap at least?
Oh, no, not at all. It's
oh,
super
wow. That's
expensive.
so inconvenient. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a really niche thing, but
Yeah,
cool.
they have such a poor business model, and I'm rooting for them. You know, hey, we'll see how that works.
Why is it $1,000 to this lamp that just sets my house on fire?
Stabs me in the eye.
Yeah, Ray and Flay's Terrible Furniture.
This nightstand will rape my mom. I don't want it.
$1,500 to kind of.
God.
Oh man. Yeah, episode 10. I think I said it was episode 10 last time, but I lied. I think.
You fibbed. It's fine.
Fibbed again.
Yep.
Fibbed's a funny word. Fib.
Yeah, it's the funniest way to say you lied, I think.
Are you fibbing, dog?
You fibbing me, bro? You were trying to hoodwink me, bro?
I think people should aggressively say that, like if you're like in a fight, like say you're in a fight with your spouse or something.
Yeah.
And instead of saying you fucking liar, be like, stop fucking fibbing.
You're a fibber.
Stop fucking fibbing, man. I fucking know you're with her the other night. Fibber.
You can't really. No matter how mad you are, as soon as you say fib, however mad you are, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You just said a dumb word.
You just equalize the situation.
Yeah.
So we watched Chuck. Where's the movie you put it in there?
I've got the movie.
It's not a sequel, but it's okay. It's Chuck and Buck
Chuck and Buck
from 2000.
First, let me say, hey, you said it's not a sequel, and that's okay.
It is.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
I think it's okay too. But but I want to be, hey. But is it though? Is it fine?
Yeah.
It's fine? Okay. I think so. But I just want you to know, I think it's fine. Well, put it this way, we this is episode 10.
Yeah.
And we already watched all of the sequels. So
every sequel ever.
Yeah. So now we're on to the originals, I guess.
Mission Impossible can be a name for a movie review place. It doesn't have to put a box around the
I would say yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. We did buy a lot of sequels. That's kind of how we came across this movie. I was at
we're gonna watch all of them.
Yeah, we're gonna I was buying sequels from a store, I think Game Exchange. And anyways,
nice.
Anyway, I found one of the Bourne movies. I found Sex and the City 2, and I was like, oh, fucking Chuck and Buck. Oh my god, I haven't seen this movie since like it came out in the year 2000. I was like 14 years old. I was like, oh fuck. I remember like liking the movie. I remember it being really weird. I remember it being really gay, but I was just also like, it's like a gay twist that you don't full see coming. And so I was like, all right, let me buy this movie. And I brought all the movies I bought to your house. Mm-hmm. And I forgot Chuck and Buck were in there. And then we came by to, I think we were going to watch Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
And you're like, why don't watch Chuck and Buck instead? Because Too Fast, Too Furious is going to suck ass.
It is going to suck.
And I was like, all right, it's not a sequel, but fuck it, you know? Well, there's 2 names in it.
Yeah, I was too fast, too curious to see Chuck and Buck.
Yeah. Well, by the end of it,
yeah, you're
buy fast, buy curious.
Yeah, it's about this guy who's like weird. It ends up not really being about like his super gayness, but about his like weird like obsession, like psychotic weird obsession. You end up just like the whole time I'm like, how does this guy's mind work? I'm like, you know, Chuck, or what's his? Yeah, he's Chuck, the red-haired guy who's creepy.
Yep.
Right.
He also wrote the movie. Mike White.
Oh no, Chuck. Yeah, okay. Chuck's the
Buck
darker.
is the Buck's the guy, and then guy. Buck's the creepy guy, but he's like lovable though. He's not.
Yeah.
You know, he gets in these awkward situations, but you're always kind of rooting for him. You know.
Yeah. At no point did I hate Buck.
Yeah, he never threatens anybody. You know, he's never crosses the line to the point of like monster.
No,
you know?
he does really wants to bone this guy. He
wants to be have a best friend back, I guess. So that's the twist, I think, to the movie. So what you find out late in the movie that Chuck and Buck played a lot of games together. And one of the games they used to play is called Chuck and Buck Suck and Fuck, where Chuck sticks his penis into Buck's mouth and Buck sticks his penis into Chuck's mouth. It's a game they used to play.
Awesome.
Okay, but you find out it's Chuck's idea too. At least that's what he tells Chuck's wife and fiance.
Yeah.
You know, but since then, you know, Buck's just been enamored with Chuck, and Chuck like moves away right after they must have done it a couple times, and he moves away. They never see each other.
Yeah, they were childhood friends. Chuck and Buck.
And Buck just stays in his adolescence, and he briefly tells Chuck about it too. He's like, "Listen, when you left, I didn't care about school. Everything just seemed stupid. Like when you were around, everything was like real and alive, and everything else that's not being with you it just feels dead. Like he's deeply in like love with the guy, you know, and it's real, and it's not like." It's in a weird way because they were like 11, 12 last time they saw each other.
And now they're like 30-ish, 40?
No, 27 they said.
Oh, they said 27?
Yep.
Okay, so almost. Yeah, but the weird thing about, you know, did he move to LA or whatever?
Yeah, him and his family moved out like west, I'm guessing, and then now he's. They never say where he moved when he was a child, but he lives out in LA now, so presumably he moved to. Yeah. Oh, dude, he moved out to California. Just like in Air Bud Spikes Back, the friend moves out to California.
Probably the same movie, basically.
It's pretty much. You just interchanged a couple characters.
Just put a dog in there, whatever. Same movie.
Same movie.
Yeah, Buck is just like, he's doing all these, well, Chuck is married now, and he's not gay. Well, I guess he is gay, but,
yeah.
And Buck is doing all these intrusive things throughout the movie, like showing up at his job, and just showing up at their house, calling him, like, and he has like a secretary that's just like, no, he's not here. And
who's Maya Rudolph, by the way?
Who's Maya Rudolph?
The only famous person in the movie.
True.
Sorry.
And the whole time, like, not the whole time, but I was just like pondering like how I would handle like that kind of situation of someone just being super persistent and intrusive and stalkerish and whatever. I've never had a situation like that.
Me neither. Now, would you do what Chuck did?
Just bone him.
Yeah, all right, so that's pretty much happens in the movie. Where
and that's at the end.
Chuck just plays kind of dumb to it the whole time. And he's 11 years old. If they played some weird perverted game when they were a kid, it's understandable to like black that out from your memory, you know? So that's real young. I don't remember shit that happened when I was 11. So I don't think I did that, but who knows?
Yeah.
So anyways, Buck confronts him, and he's like, "You don't even remember me, Chuck, do you?" And Chuck's a little drunk, and he's just like, "I remember you. I remember everything." And then they start making out, and then Buck gives him head, and then presumably they switch places. Who knows? But they cut to the next morning when they're all like, hot and bothered and sweaty.
And that's at the very end.
Post-coital.
The very, yes, post-coital. Coital's a funny word too.
Yep.
Coit. Like you're just gonna coit someone.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd coit that, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if coit is a verb.
That's not, but it's fun as shit to say.
To coit. It could be. Okay. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd coit that.
Alright, so while we were watching this movie, we were looking at the cast, and I was like, oh, fuck, Maya Rudolph's in this movie.
She's from SNL?
Yeah, she's in SNL, and she has like a bit role in the MacGruber movie, and I don't know, I've always found her super funny.
Cool.
So then I'm like looking at Maya Rudolph's like previous movies and stuff like that. This is like one of her first movies. She was like bit characters in other movies, like super B movies beforehand, and it's like mostly famous in the mid-90s for her role in The Rentals, an indie rock group.
Oh yeah, so did you listen to that?
Yeah, so I listened to The Rentals on the ride home from your house.
Yeah. And
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
What is it like? I'm just gonna get, is it like indie rock?
Yeah, it's indie rock.
Okay.
And it's nothing super impressive or progressive or anything like that. It's just very basic, generic indie rock from the 90s.
Chord progression, aggressive drums.
Yep. Awesome. And you see, I think she was a keyboardist. You see her, at least in the music video that I watched, she was a keyboardist. The other songs I just listened to because I was driving. But then you find out in 2001 she marries Paul Thomas Anderson, the famous director, and I was like, oh fuck. So they've been married for 19 years and they have 4 kids together. And I didn't know any of this shit about Maya Rudolph, who like you see like on the outskirts of like other SNL characters, TV shows. Like she might be like in one episode of Parks and Rec, or
right,
like,
very
yeah,
bits and pieces around the industry.
Yeah. But she was funny as hell in fucking Saturday Night Live. But I learned a lot about Maya Rudolph. Just on a Google tangent after watching this movie.
Hells yeah. Went to the wormhole, the Maya Rudolph wormhole.
Yep.
Also, she's hot. She's cute, right?
Oh yeah. She's in Idiocracy too. She's very fine in Idiocracy. Like,
yeah, she's the with
the prostitute.
What's his name? The pimp.
Upgrade.
Oh my goodness! I wonder if there's a
like, yeah, I'm an artist.
Or we could just watch it now. There's no limitations.
I want to go back to sequels. I feel naughty right now. I feel bad.
Oh man, breaking all the rules. The only rule. No,
that's the only rule we had. No, fuck it. We watched this movie. I want to review it anyways because I don't think a lot of people have heard of this movie. You know, even we watched the DVD copy of it, and I would say the quality of it wasn't. You know, like you can tell this movie's never got the remastered HD Blu-ray version. Like,
yeah, a lot of the movies we watch have that. They're definitely shot on like something a little not super HD, which I kind of like. I like the aesthetic of that for sure.
How'd you feel about the soundtrack to this movie?
Oh, it was super interesting. I think just kind of. I think there are a few other songs besides that one. That's just like the girl doing a cappella over some other notes. Where it's like, fun. Yeah. Super awesome soundtrack.
I love the sound. Yeah, dude. A lot of twee music. They had Jonathan Richman in the Modern Lovers song, that Astral Plane song, which is awesome.
Which one was that?
That I don't know. It's I'll play it for you after this. And then like Chucky's like, oh, I'm a music executive now. Like I just signed these guys, and they show the music video, and it's They Might Be Giants doing Birdhouse in Your Soul. So I was like, oh, Birdhouse! And you're like, fucking, They Might Be Giants is awesome. So 1990, I'm guessing They Might Be Giants wasn't huge then, but so I don't know. And they had I think another song I recognized too, but yeah, the soundtrack in the movie is super awesome.
It is. It's super good. Let's talk about the play that Buck writes for Chuck.
Yep.
Did he have like some sort of No, he really didn't like allude to anything of him being an artist. But yeah, he just wrote a play basically for Chuck that like made his wife look like evil and whatever.
Yeah.
It's a whole like little side story, like little kind of side note of him creating this play, like the whole movie with that older lady, the Spanish lady.
Yeah, she does an awesome job in the movie.
Yeah, and he just puts all these characters in the play that are basically look like him and Chuck, and he finds this interesting guy this guy who's actually Chuck's brother in real life.
Whoever plays Chuck, something Whites or whatever. His
Weitz.
His brother. I've never seen him in anything else. Yeah. But his brother in real life, because they look way similar. They have the same butt chin too.
Yeah.
They look way too similar. Plays his just a doppelganger type like that he hires, even though he's the worst actor. But he's like, oh, you're my friend. I just want to be next to you.
Yeah. Super New York guy. He's just like a bozo. He's like, hey, what you doing? How you doing?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
He says one of your favorite lines in that.
Oh, it's it's just this. He has this line where who was he talking about? The old lady.
The lady who lived next door. He's like, the fucking bitch next door. He's like, I don't want another bitch living over here. Like, what do you do? You just see a bitch and
he says bitch a lot.
Yeah,
that's just like favorite word. But I thought he was in the theater when he said that line. I'm just thinking what her thing looks like.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, because he was bitching about her trying to teach him how to act, even though he's terrible. And he's like, this bitch always telling me what to do. You know, she's just saying stuff the whole time to me, and the whole time I'm just thinking, you know, what's a pussy look like?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's happening? And that was a really funny line. It caught me off guard, and I was fucking howling.
And now I can't talk to a bitch at all
I can't talk to any bitches without
even thinking what
I'm
their,
like, dude,
what their
what's
pussy
that?
looks
What's
like.
that
Yeah.
pussy look like, bro?
I gotta know now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying it to them. You know, that's how you can talk to a woman, right?
They like when you're upfront and honest.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, I'm trying to listen to what you're saying right now.
I really am trying.
I'm like, it's just not. I'm like, what's your pussy look like? Obviously, I'd never do that.
But about the play, it reminded me of Charlie's play from It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
He writes for the waitress. He writes like this play to show like that he was like, they even start the same thing, like about the being young boys, and like in It's Always Sunny they have like him as a young boy and going to the boys' hole.
Super similar.
Yeah.
Similar vibes.
And did you have any thoughts on the play? Because I have a theory about it.
I feel like we saw bits and pieces of it,
Yeah.
and not the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which I guess just made sense for the movie, obviously.
Yep.
But what do you think about it?
All right, so this is my theory on it. So Mike White, the main character who plays Buck, wrote Chuck and Buck.
Yes.
And the guy who plays Chuck, I don't know about what your feelings on it is. I just thought he did a piss poor job at being an actor.
Overall?
Yeah, I didn't like him as an actor. I'd never seen him in anything else since this movie. I don't know. He just kind of did a plain Jane fucking, like, even when he's like surprised about stuff, he's just like, Chuck, you gotta leave. Like, he's really bad at acting.
Yeah, now that you say it, it was like subpar acting, because I think compared to Buck,
Who killed it?
but yeah, dude, he had all these, like, have you seen the new Joker, the latest Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's showing all these crazy like little twerks, even like little things when he's talking and he goes like you know, just little
Yeah, he
ticks,
gets nervous and he's
ticks
sucking on the
stuff,
lollipop.
and he's going,
Yeah.
like, just like doing weird blinks a lot. Like, I think that kind of acting is super impressive to display like mental illness, which this guy clearly has, and a bunch of tics and whatever.
Yep.
And so yeah, so definitely beside him, like, Chuck looks like shit. He's just like,
Yeah.
like, he's got like his 2 teeth always showing. He's just like, Chuck, you can't be here, Buck. And
Yeah, he's very dude. I don't know. I thought he did a shit job
I
acting.
completely agree with that.
So that adds to my theory. So now this guy, Chuck, is writing a play for his childhood best friend, and he hires a really shitty actor to play his counterpart, like his, you know,
Yes.
to try to get him back. Now this guy, Mike White, wrote this whole freaking movie
Yeah.
to try to get his childhood best friend to like him. And who does he hire to play his best friend? A shitty fucking actor. You know what I mean? Like, he does it in the movie. And then he like writes it into the script too, to like kind of show everyone what he's doing. He's like, yeah, I'm in love with my best friend and I want to win him back, and I'm hoping this movie will show him, you know, like, hey, I'm not such a bad guy. Like, we could work out a relationship or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty, like, I don't know if that's true at all, but I don't know. I was just thinking about it today. I was like, dude, that's fucking next level.
Yeah, I feel like, do you think a lot of people who write stuff just write them about, I mean, movies just write them about, I guess they're based off like their personal lives in some way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like Michael Bay ever, you know, saved the world on a transformer or something like that. But I think
You
like
don't know that.
I don't know that for sure. I said it, and I was hoping that you weren't going to call me out on that. No, but I think like, especially movies like this, like dark comedies based on like real life social relationships and stuff like that, you have to base it off stuff, you know, like at least somewhat, you know,
it puts you in a weird place, all the interactions with Buck, like mentally. So it's almost like too good to not come from somewhere creatively that's like personal.
Yep.
For sure.
And not to add to the theory at all, but just to kind of like say, hey, this is kind of a coincidence for that theory, is so the guy who plays Buck is also in the movie School of Rock with Jack Black.
Oh yeah,
And
yep.
He plays the guy who's kind of done with his childhood friend Jack Black. They're like, hey, Jack, I don't want to be in a band anymore. We're not going to do it. He's the one who wants to grow up. He wants to be Chuck.
Right.
He's the one who wants to grow up. He's the one who wants the job. He wants the apartment. He wants the girlfriend who's played by Sarah Silverman.
Yes.
So like that's what Buck kind of says to the wife or the fiance, Chuck's fiance. He's like, He's like, you're just his car. You're just his apartment, which kind of hurts like a lot when you think about it. He's like, you're just there because he wants to have certain things. He wants the wife, he wants the apartment, he wants the job, he wants the money, he wants everyone to think all this stuff about him. But I just know me and him are like soulmates, meant to be together, totally gaga for each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, in a way, he's right, because when Chuck is like, I remember, and they did the thing that they had to do, Chuck didn't do it just to get Buck out of his life. He did it
He invited him to his wedding after.
Well, yeah, that was because
Which is awesome.
they showed that they can maintain a relationship without it being weird. When they saw each other in the restaurant, they just kind of head nodded and just went about their bit. Like they realized, like, hey, listen, like, we have nothing to fear anymore from this guy. You know, he's not gonna be showing up at our house.
Like,
or
listen,
anything
I just
like
had
he's
to
doing his thing.
Yeah, it was weird. Let me do a quick. Yeah, piggybacking off of what you said about the objects. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that in real life. Like what he was saying. To like, oh, you got the car, the house, and now you're just another thing.
Yeah.
Like some people, I think that's how like some people think about it. Like they're just like, oh, I'm supposed to do all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's like I'm supposed to have a pretty wife, so hey, you're pretty, you know, and I can like maintain a relate. You're gonna let me kind of do my life, and I'm gonna let you do your life.
Yeah, you're just like there.
I'm not like upper middle class or anything like that, so I haven't been afforded the luxury of like being around a lot of people who can just have a like trophy wife, or even just like a wife to have. You know, most of the time you need to have somebody who it's like your life partner. Like, it's like, hey, listen, we need to get through this shit together. You know what I mean?
Like, this is hard, dog.
Yeah, we did it on our own, and we know how much it sucks. It's like we got to have each other's back through and through. You know, and that's the kind of relationships I see around. You know, and when they're not as committed to each other like equally, then usually it doesn't last.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be some of that out there. I go into people's houses and I get to kind of, and you did too, like, you kind of decipher like how their lives, it's all judgment for sure, because I'm only there for like 30 minutes at a time, but you talk with them and then like you see like other people do things around their house and you just assume certain things. Like I could assume it about some of the people, but I can't guarantee it. But I'm sure there's people like that who just are able to have, you're my wife now, by the way. You can like have like money and stuff. And
she spends all of her time buying stuff they don't need to decorate, and he just kind of works and does whatever, nails his secretary on the side. Like that's all of us like hypothesizing what the fuck happens. You know, we don't know.
Who knows? It's all
they could be madly in love, and they could bang every night and watch the sunset. You know, like who knows?
True.
But like we're not great for for like assuming that. No, my phone dropped out of my pocket.
Yeah, but I like judging people. It's fun.
Yeah. It's hard it's hard to like turn your brain off and be like, oh, I'm just looking at you the same way I look at every single thing I've ever seen.
Like I don't project it out into the world, and I don't set it in stone whatever my judgment is, but you're just like, based off of little interactions, you assume little things.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Yeah. I'm not like, you're this way and you're this way forever based on this 1 hour conversation I had with you.
Yeah, and I mean, you can find out in 10 minutes something completely different, you know, and you're just like, oh, okay, wow, you're actually like a philanthropist.
Yeah, a full-on rapist.
You're full-on. Just
full-on.
Boys, girls.
I'm a full-on rapist. Fucking... Did Sunny shut down? Are they... Well, that's a weird way. Did they cancel it?
I don't think so. I know Dennis is like here and there, like he's kind of in the seasons, you know, when he can, because he's doing other stuff. I'm still watching the ones that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
I think they're coming out with about like 8 to 10 episodes a year.
So
they've gotten accused of hardcore of like stealing shit. It's Always Sunny.
Bits?
Yeah, a lot of jokes and bits.
They probably do. They're big fans. I think
you watch enough shit, it just happens, you know? Like,
there's no way you don't. Like, I do it subconsciously with, like, riffs for music.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm just like, oh, I just came up with this thing, and then it'll kind of sound...
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. Fucking... But yeah, it definitely happens. Nothing you come up with is really original. You would have to have been shown or see whatever it is.
Yep.
You know? But I think they're big fans of sitcoms and comedies like that. So, of course, it's going to be... That's another line people do. They'll be like, is it ripping off or is it inspired by it?
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know.
But I feel like inspired by, ripping off, and paying homage to, there's such a fine line between the three. It pretty much boils down to what's their admittance of it when confronted on it.
That's how you handle it.
You know, like Amy Schumer was just like, no, I never stole anything. And then when you see like bits she did in her show based off of like bits that other people did before, and it's exactly the same, you know? And it's like, all right, well, now you look real bad. Granted, I don't think she's writing every single sketch on her show. You know, I don't even think she has Final Cut approval.
They have a team of writers, and she got accused of something?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, there's like a couple of small jokes, you know, like those could be like universal thought, or like whatever they call that, like shared group thought or whatever.
I like that word.
And but there was a sketch where I think it's like a Mad TV sketch where it's like Amy Schumer goes to the store, and then this one guy comes up to her, this black guy, and he's like, oh, hey, can I help you with anything? And he's like, oh, yeah, what about this? And he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. You know, it's actually going to run for this price today. It's on sale. Then she goes to the register, and it's like a black woman there.
Yeah.
And then she rings it up, and she's like, oh, it should ring up for this. He's like, oh, who said that to you? And he's like, oh, the guy back there. He's like, what guy? And she won't say like it's a black guy. You know, it's like, you know the guy, he has like short dark hair.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I think everyone kind of has short dark hair, you know. But like, I don't know. But like when you watch like the side by side comparison, it's like even the same, like it has everything the same. Like it really is.
I think that falls under universal thought. That joke.
Maybe.
Because I think we've all been in situations where like. It's just, I personally have definitely been in that situation. I was like, I shouldn't have to describe what race it is to describe that person. So maybe, but like also, you know, they also probably saw the other clip that you're talking about, the other skit.
Yeah, somebody at one point, whoever, maybe they saw it when they were a kid, because there's a Mad TV episode from like, God, when Mad TV was around, so who knows, years and years and years ago.
Yeah, Mad TV, yeah.
So like,
love that show.
You know, they probably saw it and just stored it into the subconscious and thought of it, or maybe had the same thought and just like, hey, that's real funny, you know. But someone somewhere must have seen that, you know. It's not like an obscure like YouTube video. It's Mad TV, you know. It was on Fox.
Fucking yeah, and I would consider Sunny as a paying homage kind of thing for sure. Because who's it written by, Sunny?
Usually it's by the three dudes.
But the one guy is the main guy of the writer.
Rob McElhenney.
McElhenney.
It could be McElhenney, but because his name's Mac, I just call him McElhenney.
Yeah, McElhenney. Yeah.
MacDonald.
Let's rate Chuck and Buck.
Yes.
It is positive spectrum.
Yeah.
For me. But not very high.
It's not very high.
I'm going to start with that.
I'm curious. How about you go first? Because I've seen this back in the day, and I bought it. All right, I'll go first.
You go first.
All right, so mine's a bit skewed. I saw this like when I was like 14, 15, and
yep.
It was kind of like almost a twist when they start sucking and fucking. You're like, what the? Oh my god, I didn't see this coming.
I was totally caught off guard.
Off a fjord.
Off, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fib or anything like that, but I was definitely caught off guard.
Don't you dare.
Stop fucking fibbing. Yeah, when that happened, when they started, because I just thought he was gonna push Buck away.
Yeah, because the whole time he's been playing like either just like, what are you doing? He's like, stop! Like he's playing like he's coming out of nowhere, and then finally he's like, yeah, I remember. And he's like, let's do this. But
Buck said. Buck, I don't think we said this. We said, Buck says to Chuck, it's confusing with the names. He's like, if you just bone me this one time, I'll leave you alone forever. Like, that's the deal. And then I'm thinking I feel like Chuck.
He says if you come back to my apartment.
Yeah, I mean, it's implied.
I think they're both boning each other. I don't think that it's. You think Chuck's the top? I think it's both ways.
Bro, I don't know.
You don't know, but like I think it's.
He does seem more masculine, Chuck.
Buck does suck on the lollipops a lot too, and he kind of shows a lot an oral fixation.
That's true.
But I think it's a bit of both. I think they both have an oral fixation, and I'm not just gonna say Buck is getting reamed out. You know, like I think it's both stuff.
They just go tradesies.
Yeah, it's a full gay split.
Yeah.
So I'll rate this, and I'll go first because I bought it. So obviously I did like it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I still do.
That's a good one.
I'll give it. I would say like a 5.5 ice cream sandwiches.
Fucking good. I was gonna say 5.
Were you?
Yep.
Okay, let's just say 5. Let's just say 5.
We're always within one or two of each other, I feel like, and we're just like, all right, me and him. But yeah, definitely 5. I'm not gonna be recommending to everyone, but if it came up, I'd be like, hey, watch it. It's pretty good.
I wouldn't super recommend it to it, but then same thing. Like if it came up in conversations, like boom, I watched it, I can talk about it.
Yeah.
I have it now, or we have it, so like I feel like it's one of those movies where although I'm not recommending it, people should just watch it, which is the opposite of not recommending it.
Yeah.
But like it exists, just watch it, and you don't ever have to watch it again. You know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, it's not a stiff or a serious recommend, but yeah, watch it.
It's just a different movie.
Yeah,
you know?
It is different.
So it's
special features are pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only one I remember is the what is it? Games we used to play.
Yeah.
There's like there's a special features section. There was a whole tab of things that I forgot what the other ones were, but because the only one that stuck out were games we used to play section, and it just like listed games like Foursquare, Tetherball, Pickup Sticks. Great game, Pickup Sticks. I wonder if there's like championship things for any of those games.
Sure there is.
It's gotta be, right?
Yep. I think people are out there still playing Pogs and shit. I really do.
Oh, well, hell yeah. There's 8 billion people. There's a little niche for everything, right? It's gotta be. Everything that exists has like a little fan club. What were we on about? Oh, the special features. Yeah, that was it. The games we used to play.
Yep. Now, is there anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. I think that's it.
Yeah. I didn't really think of a sequel for this one.
Yeah. I think your the theory on him making the movie about him, it's close enough to like making a sequel.
Yeah.
That's what
the easy movie would be I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Buck. You know, because it's just about these two gay guys and then they get married, you know, so
he just leaves his wife and then he's just like, yeah, I want to play all the games he used to play, and then like they get back together and
I say what happens is his wife tragically dies in a fire, and then they're like, you know what, like I've just been signing They Might Be Giants as a music exec, not doing fucking anything important with my life.
Yeah.
Let's become firemen. So him and Buck become firemen, and then through some crazy tax loophole, they would actually get benefits if they were married. So they're like, hey, listen, I know we have history. So then I'm trying to remember the plot to Chuck and Larry.
Yeah, I think it was because like one of them, they're both firemen.
I thought they were firemen in Chuck and Larry.
I thought maybe one of them was. There was some legal loophole with them being married, and then they pretended to be.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching Mission Impossible episode 10, and see you next time.
All right.
Skeet.
Skeet.